Hello, everybody, and welcome into That Real Texas Team podcast. I'm the host of the channel. With me, as always, my resident co-hosts, Mike and Chris. But with us today, we've got a special guest, member of the Texans media. So you're at practices all the time, right?
Yeah, and I leave Wednesday morning, headed out for the joint practice on Thursday in Detroit. So I go to other practices too.
Okay. Sarge is a busy man, and he's taking time out of his day to come on and talk Texans ball with us. Please take time out, go over to Texans Tailgate Talk, like, subscribe, notification bells, do the whole thing over there. Try to help him get along and catch up with some of these other guys out here. I mean, us too, but whatever.
Yeah, we all
we need to catch up to Sarge, but just click the buttons, y'all.
click the button.
Gentlemen, Mechie is an Eagle. How are we feeling about the trade? Obviously, the move basically just the trade with Kenyon Green earlier in the year kind of just makes this whole thing a player for player swap. And just on name value alone, CJ Gardner-Johnson makes this very lopsided. But how are we feeling?
Like I said, if I'm going to start off on that, I'm happy Mechie gets an opportunity. I think the Eagles are going to give him an opportunity to play. I hate to see him go, but, man, if you were looking around the Texans wide receiver room, the writing was on the wall. There's no way we still got to figure out what's going on with our receiver room. There's so many guys already there, and it just didn't look good for Mechie. This was his best preseason that we've seen him play, and it still really wasn't good enough to counteract the talent we brought in. It's heartbreaking, but it's good to see because I know the Eagles are going to give him a chance. If he was going to let me not say that. I'm not going to say the Panthers, but that of the Cowboys, it'd feel a little different. But going to the Eagles, I don't hate him.
No, it kind of feels like you did right by him, and that's kind of good. Chris, what were your thoughts?
So I 100% agree with you, Mike. We've been talking about this for months. We didn't think that Mechie. Look, I've been rooting for Mechie, but I'm not going to make excuses for Mechie. if we're going to speak on it in that terms, I'm not going to make any excuses for him. I felt like I'm not going to say wasted, but I went along for 2 years giving him excuses. I don't know and I'm always going to give the excuse. I don't know what it's like to have my body go through something like that and to also be an athlete at the same time. So I can't speak on that. But at the same time, I'm trying to see AFC championships. I'm trying to see a trip to the Super Bowl eventually, and there's only so much that you can handle. And the writing was on the wall, and I already felt like we were going to keep Hutch over Mechie just for the simple fact of even if it wasn't very many, he always came up in the big moments. And there's not a time that I can think of in my brain. I can think of him having good games, but I cannot think of in my brain, man, Mitch made a great catch. It was like game-saving catch. Like but I felt like Hutch brought that, even being a number 4 receiver. He was a number 4 receiver at the time. He was probably number 2 by that time. But still, I'm just saying. And they were doing the swap thing, I felt like then. But I'm happy for him. I think he'll get it. Okay, so hold on. You said you think he'll get a chance. I don't agree with that. Hold on, I'm sorry. But before you go, Big Sarge, I have to push back on that. I don't agree with that. Jalen Hurts is not going to throw the ball, but 18 times a game. This is what we know.
Bro, but
then you got AJ Brown. JJ Brown needed 6 or 7 times.
The receiver room's thin, man. There's a reason they fought us to get him. Like I said, the 49ers were right there. They were right there. And they said, hey, we'll give you back
I wouldn't give you pushback if the 49ers.
Huh?
I wouldn't give you pushback if it was the 49ers. And
Bro.
Their receiver room, in my opinion, means nothing.
The
Eagles, Saquon go catch 3-4 balls.
No,
but I'm there.
They wanted him. They wanted him. That's all it came to. They wanted him.
We got a tight end that I don't know nothing about. I've seen him play, but whatever. I'm gonna be honest, about players. Not saying that they never were good, and I can't ever do what they do. This is what I'm talking about. But just still,
yeah. Sarge, what were your thoughts?
What, you want me to go, or you want to go first? I'll go after you if you want. If you want to go ahead.
You're all good, bro.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you now. I talk a lot. I ain't gonna talk too long, but I talk a lot. So here's the thing, right? So a couple of things. I mentioned this on the Texas Happy Hour on what is it? Today is what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
So it had to be Monday's show. That when you look at the Texans and you look at the Rockets, and this is something that I said 3 years ago. The Rockets and the Texans are the Spider-Man meme, the one that they're Spider-Man, meme, the one where they're pointing at each other. They're the exact same team. They went through that 3 years of funk. They came out of that 3 years of funk, and now they're in that 3 years. I mean, they're in that past that bottom rebuilding stage. They're getting past the second phase, and they're heading into the third phase. One of the things that Rockets head coach Ime Udoka said at his exit interview was, I asked him about the talent on the team, and he says, we don't have time to wait for the talent to develop. Alperen Şengün and Jalen Green had that opportunity before I got here, and they had a chance to go through those type of things. But we're a team now where we're trying to be built to win right now. That's the exact same thing that's going on with the Houston Texans. They're trying to win right now. And unfortunately for John Mechie III, he just got caught up in a numbers game, and he got caught up in something that he could not control. Getting cancer was not something that he could control. That's just, and you got to feel sorry for him, because, I mean, let's just keep it honest, right? Because a lot of people forget who John Mechie III is. Go back to those Alabama days. If Mechie doesn't get hurt in the SEC championship game, they go to the national championship, they win the national championship, and he goes higher than he went when he got drafted. Yeah. Because John Mechie is a route technician. He can run any route that you give him. Like, he can get open and he can catch. But unfortunately, he was coming off an injury, coming out of the SEC championship game with a lower leg injury. Then he's healing, gets over that, gets drafted, and then all of a sudden he gets cancer. So now he has to sit out for a year as he deals with the cancer, going through chemotherapy. The next year, he comes back. His body hasn't even fully developed into the NFL body that he's going to need in order to be able to be effective on the field. And when he finally does, now, like I said, they don't have time to wait on him, because you think about it. They got Jalen Noel right there. They got Braxton Berrios right there. They have Christian Kirk right there. And what they tried to do, they tried to give Mechie an opportunity, but Mechie doesn't play special teams. All those three guys that I just named, they all play special teams. So even if they're not getting the wide receiver reps, they're going to get those special teams reps. And so, because Mechie looks like, this is the best that I've seen Mechie look since his Alabama days. And he told me on Saturday that, no, Sarge, I'm better than I was at Alabama. I'm more smoother. I'm in better shape. He says, I'm playing the game a whole lot better than I did at Alabama. But like I said, unfortunately, it's a numbers game. And you also got to look at it like this. If it wasn't this year, it was going to potentially be next year, because the Texans are going to have Nico Collins coming. They're going to have Nico Collins. They're going to have Xavier Hutchinson. They're going to have Jaden Higgins. They're going to have Jalen Noel.
Then Tank will be back too.
Tank is coming back. And so he was going to get caught in a numbers crunch anyway. So I really like what Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans did for him by getting him to the team that they got him to as far as the Philadelphia Eagles is concerned, because you think about it. he could have they could have shipped him to like the Browns. Like they could have shipped him to the Browns. They could have shipped him to the Saints, right? They could have shipped him to they could have shipped him to Las Vegas. Like they could have found a place for him to be that isn't as good as the Eagles franchise and organization is. And I'm going to say this. I got to push back on you a little bit. I think that John Mechie gets a lot of reps with that Eagles offense because the one thing that they don't have that they had in the past is a very good offensive line because they lost Mekhi Becton. Then they lost their they're going to be without their Pro Bowl guard, if I'm not mistaken. They lost.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
that's why they were looking at Kenyon. They'll be like, maybe we can fix him.
Right, and so
he'll be great in the run game. Y'all can say anything y'all want, and I will live and die on this. I'm not a Kenyon Green fan at all. I don't feel like he gave the effort, but I feel like when it came to that run game, I feel like he was. That's the only thing he was good at.
He's the best run block on that team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kenyon Green was the best run block. They never taught him how to pass block, and you think about it now. And I said this. He got caught. Kenyon Green was about, if he'd have been here, he'd have been going into his third system in 4 years. This would have been his third system. Did you remember he was out for a year? He never played in Bobby Slowick's system until last season. And when you're playing in Bobby Slowick's system, and I said this earlier in training camp, I was like, if they got rid of Slowick, if they got rid of Strausser, then like you could put some blame on Kenyon Green because he should have, he's in the NFL. If you make it to that point, you should. But like if they got rid of those two, then you got to sit back and say, well, wait a minute. It can't just be all Kenyon Green.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said this once before. I think if Kenyon Green was still here, there's a chance he might have been starting.
Cole Popovich liked him a lot.
Yep. I heard the same thing. It's a chance he might have been the starting right or left guard.
So I just think
Thomason might not have even been here.
I think John Mechie is going to do good there.
Yeah.
Oh, I want him to do good.
Yeah.
I just the way their offense is ran.
Not too good. I don't need to do it sideways.
Yeah,
I feel like until I'm just going off of the way I feel like the Eagles' offenses ran, and I agree they might. I don't know. They seem like they know how to develop players somehow. Even if they go down for a year, they figure it out and develop. I don't know. You see how easy it was for them to replace Kelsey. They replaced him like it's like they didn't miss a beat.
Next man up.
Yep.
And so I we'll see what happens when we get there. Go ahead, Curtis, because
all right.
We don't hate the Eagles. We don't hate the Eagles.
So look, I really enjoyed the way that D'Amico Ryans kind of addressed the whole thing because he really kind of was an inspiration to the team in a lot of different ways with everything he went through. I'm a big fan of the fact that they did right by him by sending him to a team where he can compete for reps on a contending team. And he realistically could turn around his entire career. I count his rookie year as kind of like a red shirt, obviously, because he didn't get any plays.
Oh, that's
but the fact that his body regressed to probably high school form. So he had to come all the way back to a point of now where he's supposed to be at this level. I think we're going to see the best John Mechie we've ever seen, and it's just going to suck. I've got his RPA rookie card over here, and I'm hoping something happens, but at this point. But look.
Well, hey, Curtis, real quick, I just want to say this too. Hey, I put it like this. I want you to watch the way Dylan Horton plays because he went through a similar situation, and Dylan Horton is having one hell of a camp.
Yeah, he is.
But he has his body back, and his body is fully back, and so that's the exact same way I feel about Mechie.
Yeah,
he looks like his college self now. Again.
Yeah,
the guy that was a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. So honestly, I have big hopes for Mechie. I hope he can do some big things. It's not the worst thing in the world if he goes up to Philly and wins a ring with them. long as they're not
Man,
beating
I would really be happy for him then. Even if he don't catch not one ball, he deserves it. Hey.
he got jewelry for his grandkids, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about one of the big guys, big rookie. That'd be left tackle, right tackle, Ariante Ursary. What are the chances we can see Ariante Ursary at left tackle week 1? I'll just let anybody dive on that one.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead because y'all taking too long. All right, so because
I know it's your boy Tay. I wanted you to go first.
So number one, because the offensive line is the only thing I even care about. It's all I care about. I know everybody else is important, but offensive line is all I care about because it was a tragedy last year. It's a tragedy. I cried so many times. But so to get into that, all right. So because I have a lot on Ariante Ursary anyway. But my thing is, so first of all, he's
hold on.
great.
My son's up to some shenanigans. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Cool. So first of all, fellas, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think he's doing a tremendous job. Is he Laramie Tunzel? Of course not. But I think he is doing a awesome job. So I'm also going to pivot off of that because, like I said, I am completely on like the offensive line. That's literally all I care about because CJ Stroud is not going to be nothing with that offensive line that we dragged out there last year. So don't know if anybody else noticed. Chime in if you want to. But did you see who we had playing right guard?
Yes, sir.
Talking about Ingram?
Yep.
Yeah.
I seen him.
So because and I only say that because he got reps with CJ. I don't care about Juice got reps with Davis Mills last week whenever they played last week. I saw it. I ain't even watched the game, but I saw the highlights. I saw Juice was on the field. He wasn't bad. He's obviously doing an okay job because for some reason Blake Fisher cannot get on the field so we can have Titus playing right guard, which is what I would like. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I would like.
You want Titus at right guard? Titus is a tackle.
I know he's a tackle. I want him at right guard.
He's effective as a tackle. He is not. Well,
he got paid. He got paid as a tackle.
Exactly. He got paid as a tackle, but you want to know why I want him at right guard? Because him being at the guard position. Did you see that guard play last year? I know you saw that guard play.
Jack Mason?
You saw that guard play. Mm-hmm. You're the media man, so I know you saw that guard play.
So here's my thing, though. Okay, so because look, I'm trying to follow proper decorum, but I'll turn this into sophisticated barbershop talk. With that being said, so here's my issue and my problem. Right, one, Ed Ingram. I can't put my faith in Ed Ingram. I can't put my faith in Laken Tomlinson. I can't put my faith in Cam Robinson. I can't put my faith in Jake Andrews. I can't put my faith in Trent Brown once he comes back, which, by the way, that is a large human being. He walked by me today and I said, I should not feel like this as a 53-year-old man feeling like a child with this man walking by me. But
that is a massive human being.
It really is. So the reason why I said all that is because I haven't seen any of these guys really play in, with the Houston Texans. So they could be great. They could come here and be great. All we have to go on is the past. And all those players I just named in their former teams, they were not good. Ed Ingram got benched for ineffectiveness. KO said, Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, said, we need to go in a different direction. That's just coach speak for saying you suck.
And I'm going to be honest, I was surprised he was on the field, though. That's the only reason I even bring it up, because I honestly thought they were going to have Juice out there.
I feel like Juice should be playing, but like I said, I don't know what he's going to look like in Kelly's system.
So the bad thing is, I don't like Juice, but I also feel like Juice should be playing.
That man hates Juice.
I do not like Juice personally.
Let me say
this. I think he should be playing.
Juice plays against the Kansas City Chiefs the Texans have a better chance of winning. There's no way. That's the one thing that I said, people put D'Amico on the pedestal, and I think that D'Amico Ryans is a very good head coach. I really like him, but he made a mistake right there. That was that was a mistake he made by bringing back Shaq Mason and playing him. And Shaq I like Shaq Mason, but he looked lost. But real quick, Cam Robinson at left tackle. The reason why I want Ariante Ursary over there is because I also remember the hype on Cam Robinson, and I'm not even talking about in Jacksonville. I'm talking about when he got to Minnesota, how everybody loved him, and then by the end of the season, everybody was like, "Man, why the hell do we have this guy?" And if you start him at left tackle, he's going to go up against the last opponent that he's seen was the Los Angeles Rams, and Jared Verse pushing him around the entire game. So you open up week 1. And it's going to be like second verse, same as the first, a little bit louder and a little bit worse. So, no, I don't want Cam Robinson at left tackle.
No.
When Cam Robinson went down, so he went down early in practice when we were in West Virginia. And that's when they did the shuffling around. And that's when they moved Titus to right tackle and they moved Ariante to the left tackle. When they did that, I reported, that's the most protection CJ has had the entire training camp. CJ actually was able to start having some time to analyze going up against that first team defense. So they may put Cam Robinson back there because he has the experience, and you're still trying to get this rookie to learn the game. But if you put Ariante back at right tackle, and now you're putting Titus Howard at right guard, a position he hasn't played in the NFL. He hasn't played right guard on a consistent. Well, I don't think he's ever played right guard. I think left guard is the only thing he's ever played.
Yeah, he never took a snap. Yeah.
So now you're going into the regular season with him having the limited amount of snaps that he got in OTAs, mini camp, and training camp. He hasn't even played in the preseason, and he probably won't play on Saturday. So you're rolling him out now saying, all right, Titus, we need you to be one of the best right guards in the AFC. And then when he's still learning on the job, because the interior part of the Houston Texans line is the weakest to me.
It is. Not even close.
It is despicable how bad it is.
When the compliment they give Laken Tomlinson is, well, he's always healthy to play. What? That's the best thing you can say about him is he's always healthy to play.
Hey, by consideration, I mean, like, we haven't had like an interior offensive lineman play all 16, 17 games in a hot minute.
That's a compliment. Like, you go to work and they say, well, what could you say good about Curtis? What does he do? Well, he shows up every day. What? Is he good with the customers? What? No, he's like always here. We always see him. Oh shit!
He always looks busy. He always looks like he's busy.
No, hell no. Like I said, Shaq Mason, like you said, that Kansas City, he looked so bad. I thought I could play right guard. I really was like,
oh no,
he was.
Oh my God, he was terrible.
He couldn't even stand in the way. He wasn't even getting bulldozed. They were literally just walking around him.
Yeah.
And if you think about it like this, like you talk about Shaq Mason, think about how bad Shaq Mason was all season, but it was overshadowed by and I don't put all of this on Kenyon Green, but he just looked terrible in the pass game. But my thing is, it's also a coaching thing, like you stated earlier. The coaches they did not. He's going in all these different systems, but that man was not prepared. And I always felt like watching the offensive line. I never felt like they worked together. I never felt like I saw a snap where they worked together. You got Laramie over here. Oh, I'm gonna block my guy, but that's it. You don't see like a work together. You don't see them shift. I know you guys get what I'm talking about. I really can't get the words out. But like that's how passionate I am about how I need this offensive line to work. I feel like if you can maybe have a bunch of nobodies out there, and if you can just get them to work together, it was better than the line we had last year.
I will tell you this: I live out in Waller, Texas. I'm right down the street from A&M. I saw Kenyon Green play at A&M. Their pass blocking scheme looked like a run blocker. That's why he couldn't pass block. He never had to do it in college. It was
Spiller
literally
was the
hit the guy
running
in front
back
of you.
then too, wasn't he?
Yep.
Isaiah Spiller was the running back, right?
And he gets the hell out the way fast, so you ain't even got to block that long. Literally, their pass block was
Green
hit
was
the
up there
man in front of you,
pancaking.
hold him up for a second, and go. That won't work in the NFL.
No.
When you got 300-pound guys that run 4.5s.
Hey, look, and I will say this, that communication part that, I was told all throughout last season, hey, we not on the same page. You got the right side doing one thing, you got the left side doing another thing. And that started with coaching, of course, coaching and play calling. And it was just a mixture of everything. And that's one of the reasons why they look bad. And you could tell that, I broke this down on my show. Listen to what Ariante Ursary said in his press conference on Monday. He said the one thing that he likes about Nick Caley's offense is hat on a hat. That ain't something you heard the last 2 years of Bobby Slowick. You didn't hear hat on hat. And so when I broke down, because some people didn't know what that meant, so I wanted to make sure that I broke it down. I was like, hat on a hat means that you find somebody. I don't give damn. Wait, hold on. I didn't mean to use profanity. My bad. But
you good.
Okay.
You trust me, good.
I don't give a damn if the person next to you is engaged and you ain't got nobody, go engage with them. And the prime example that I showed was from a player who has been struggling throughout training camp on the offensive line, who's been struggling throughout OTAs, mini camp, and training camp, and the first preseason game, which is Blake Fisher. Blake Fisher had a really good bounce back game and he gained his confidence. And that's what, when I asked D'Amico on Monday, he said, we just need consistency from him and then he'll build his confidence in so many words. But if you go back and you break down that 4th and 5 play where Nico scored the touchdown, go look at the 4th and 5 play. When the ball is snapped, I don't remember it. So it had to be Ed Ingram that started the game, right? I got to go back and look at my notes. But Ed Ingram is next to Blake Fisher. Blake Fisher gets the defensive end, and then Ed Ingram, like he pushes and he engages, and then he puts his head on a swivel. If you go and you look, they're blitzing the cornerback, and he disengages from the defensive lineman, gets back and picks up the blitzer, which gave CJ more time to get the ball out. Now, that ain't something that Blake Fisher had been doing on a consistent basis throughout training camp, and so that's just, when Ariante Ursary is like, hey, you put a hat on a hat, and if they keep that mentality going into the season, they should be a whole lot better than they were last season.
With that being said, how many times last year did you see plays that when you watch it back, you could see offensive linemen looking for someone to block? Yeah. Y'all remember that so-called Titus Howard strip? That happened because he was looking for somebody to block. He literally spun in a 360 and started running towards CJ because they weren't everything when football starts. I played tight end for a split second. Our coaches say you can't find somebody to block the guy that's in front of you. Block somebody. Yep. Go ear hole the hell out of his ass. That was what we got told to do.
Yep. Different times.
If for some reason it just seemed like they weren't told to find somebody, just go find somebody, touch him.
I really hope Ursary gets the nod at left tackle. The Jaguars guys, Sarge, if you're not aware, so this is one podcast of 7 that my podcast network does. We have a Jaguars pod, a Colts pod, and a Titans pod. And then we all come together for a joint effort. The Jaguars guys were ready to get rid of Cam Robinson in 2021. And then the Jaguars gave him a franchise tag twice, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Cam Robinson is not it.
Good money if you can make it.
Yeah, good money if you can. He's not the move. I don't want to see him anywhere near the field unless, I don't know, there's an extra point that needs kicking. Then he can come out there and do some things.
Maybe not even then.
Yeah, maybe not.
They might block it.
This may be the offensive system for him, though. We don't know. I feel like
that's how I feel too.
You got to give him a chance.
It might be, but Ursary,
especially with CJ having that control. Like it's like I say, it's a whole coaching. I say it's a coaching thing because you got. It's like they don't just. Bobby tells me what to do, but I'm not going to listen to Bobby. It's not going to work anyway. Because if I listen to him, it's not even going to work.
Let me ask all y'all something. If that $14 million we playing Cam Robinson did nothing but told us we have a good left tackle in Nursery, is it worth it?
And wasn't it worth it to pay David Culley and Lovie Smith to be a placeholder until you got D'Amico?
Oh, that surely was worth it.
Exactly. It's not a waste. It's not a waste of money if it helped you find the right guy.
Hey, look, man. So we wasted money on worse things growing up. And so, but Curtis, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say this too when you brought up that about him. The problem for Cam Robinson is he's not a swing tackle. He's only a left tackle. He's only a left tackle. And if he can't play left tackle, you don't really have any place to put him but special teams.
Yeah.
Could he be traded again?
Depends on who gets hurt early in the season. Who's looking for an offensive lineman if somebody goes down?
Because last year I didn't see him going to Minnesota. Yeah. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Well,
he's serviceable. That's why I say somebody will take him. He's serviceable.
If we can, in theory, if he starts and you just get him to play average football, and you get all these dudes to just play average football, we're going to see an actual dramatic improvement from what we saw last year.
Oh my God.
It's going to be night and day. Now, obviously, we've said this ad nauseum at this point, but it was a lot of it was coaching. The fact that Bobby Slowick couldn't grow a system if he needed to, and he needed to. And then Strausser was, talking about retirement before we hired his ass. I would prefer to let the young man go out there and get those early reps and develop quicker in theory. And then to have Cam Robinson, who you probably know what he's going to give you. Maybe the system accents, his strengths and, kind of covers up some of his weaknesses. But even if he comes out and does well, Cam Robinson, we've got him for 1 year. If he plays well, he's going to get a fat contract somewhere else.
Not here.
So, I mean,
the biggest thing that I think the Houston Texans want, if I had to take an educated guess, I think that one of the biggest things that they want is for Blake Fisher to be the franchise right tackle and Ariante Ursary to be the franchise left tackle.
Yeah. Well, where does that leave Titus?
Guard.
Damn.
They'll put him in guard.
Damn.
I think
they're gonna have to pay him as a tackle. You're gonna put him in guard. Then you're gonna have to pay Titus. No, there's no possible way Titus is not taking tackle money, and
especially Titus, in my opinion, is a perfect team player. Wherever you tell him to go, he goes, and I don't know. That's
why I don't
all
understand why he get knocked so much, man. I don't understand because Jared Patterson. You remember when Jared Patterson came in and he played center for a while, right?
Yep.
And this is when Titus was playing left guard. Jared said one thing that helped him in the games was Titus. Because Titus has played every offensive line position I'm talking about throughout his entire football career. He's played every, including tight end, and Titus was a quarterback. So yes, Titus knows exactly what he's looking at, what he's doing, and there's not an offensive lineman that has ever played the game of football that hasn't gotten beat on different types of plays. But when we were talking earlier about, hey, man, you'll put him at guard. Okay, so if you can get those bookend tackles to play their way, because Titus is getting a little bit older, you got to play him as that. But now, remember now, TJ Watt just got this really big contract. Pittsburgh just gave him all this money. And let's not forget somebody who shut TJ Watt down. I ain't gonna say no names, but y'all know who it was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What I say when we talk about Ursary, one thing to keep in mind, I actually think he's playing against two of the best pass rushers in the NFL every day. Every single day. Yes, Jared Verse is coming in here week 1, but is Jared Verse better than Will Anderson or Daniil? No.
And think about
the
it,
only person you might give me an
2025.
argument with is TJ, or maybe that guy that's about to get traded in Cincinnati at some point.
Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, those might be the only two that you'll have an argument with.
Not Max Crosby.
I like what Max does, but I think Max is a product of his environment. They let him like what we used to do with JJ. JJ, you just go out there and do your thing. You do whatever it takes to get to the quarterback. Don't worry about what play we call. You don't ever drop back in coverage. Don't do nothing. You just go find the quarterback. That's it.
Which is the one thing, and I know, Curtis, we got to move the show along. I apologize. I understand how it is as a host, but I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna throw this in, and then I'm just gonna shut up so we can move along. This is one of the reasons why Jadeveon Clowney never ever reached his peak at Houston, because Jadeveon had the responsibilities that JJ didn't. Jadeveon had to play within the system. JJ never had, and to show proof of that. Remember when JJ got hurt, I think that Jadeveon was like second team all pro 1 year?
Yep. One of those games he had 3 sacks in one game. They said play the JJ role. All right.
Yep. and that's when he said, but I mean, they used him as to draw. He dropped in coverage. The other side was playing the scheme while JJ was just like, sometimes JJ wouldn't even go to the huddle. It's like, what y'all, that play don't pertain to me. Whatever y'all about to call, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't do what I need to do. So my bad, Curtis. I didn't mean to hold up the show, but I had to throw that in there.
You're all good.
Like I said, it's beautiful.
All right. So we kind of talked about it a little bit with the last topic, but as comparatively from last year to this year, what is the general feeling, atmosphere around the offensive line? Like last year, obviously we were watching CJ Stroud run for his life every game. Do you think we've done enough to see any sort of market improvement?
I said, Sarge, I'll let you start on that one, because you get to see him a little bit more up close and personal than we do.
Bananas.
I was trying to. I couldn't hear the whole question because that pit bull is over there.
Hey, pit bull is crazy.
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear the whole question.
Hey, what is how you bite?
I was just gonna try to catch on after everybody started talking. So, can you repeat the question one more time, Curtis?
All 3 pounds of her. All 3 pounds.
So comparing this year, the offensive line to last year's offensive line, have you noticed a different atmosphere or a different attitude, or do you feel like there's been enough moves made to see improvement?
So my thing is this, and that's a great question that has so many answers, and I'll start off with this. I can't, because I seen last year's line play in real time. I haven't seen this line play in real time, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still as confused right now as I was coming into training camp, which is why I asked Nick Caley on Tuesday. So basically, I asked him, "Hey, when y'all gonna solidify this line?" Because I know the evaluation process, and you're gonna go in there. Are you gonna do it? With the joint practice and then with the game? Like, when are you gonna solidify this line? Because I don't know actually who's going to play where. I've seen who they've been putting in these places, but I don't know who's going to play where. And so I have to see what's going to happen and where you're going to put these guys before I make that comparison to see how they're going to play in real time, how they're going to see how they play under Nick Caley's system. And one of the reasons why I'm confused is because, like we talked about earlier. So if you're going to, because Cam Robinson practiced on Tuesday. So if you're going to bring him back, right? He didn't, but Ariante was still at the left tackle position. But if you're going to bring him back, Cam Robinson back, and you're going to put him at left tackle, which means you're going to push Ariante back over to the right side, and now you got Titus Howard playing right guard.
Sliding back in the guard.
And so now I'm saying to myself, right? Because this is the year I have a lot of faith, and I'm talking a lot about Titus Howard because outside of Kaimi Fairbairn, he's the second longest tenured Houston Texans. Titus has been through the highs and the lows, and he's back on the high again. But with no Laramie Tunsil, Titus Howard should be a team captain. Like, this should be the year he becomes a team captain. This is the year that he controls the room. I asked Ariante Ursary about Titus Howard and how he's just being that big vet for him. But you don't, unless you put him in a spot and leave him there, we're still going to be saying to ourselves, okay, so where's Titus going to play? And then how effective he's going to be. We know he can play the right tackle position, but now if you're going to put him at right guard, he hasn't been given the time to develop as a right guard. So, you're trying to get him to play that position. He's still learning that position, and he doesn't have the repetition. So now he's learning in real time. Well, that ain't something you want for your franchise quarterback. You don't want your franchise quarterback, and they're going to play against a lot of good interior defensive linemen. Like, I'll put it like this. If it ain't nothing else the AFC South got, they got good damn interior defensive linemen.
Yep.
Like, the Colts got good interior defensive linemen. The Titans got interior and you don't want Titus to have to be learning and saying, well, we know that we could just do with Titus. Last thing I'm going to say about this, but I have a lot of faith in Cole Popovich. I have a lot of faith in Cole Popovich. And if you remember coming in out of last season, one of the things that D'Amico kept harping on heading into this season, one voice. That's because inside of the offensive line room, Cole Popovich could fix the problem. Cole Popovich fixed the problem for the delayed blitzes and stunts and line stunts that was being used against them starting. So week 2 against the Chicago Bears, that's when they started having some trouble. And the rest of the teams from that point on realized, they can't stop a line stunt. They can't stop delayed blitzes. Well, Cole Popovich knew exactly how to fix the problem. He was second in command. Chris Strausser is like, I'm still in command. So you got these offensive linemen in the room saying, what he's saying is going to fix our problem. But you control our playing time. So if I buck you and do what he says do, I'm not going to be on the field. So it starts and stops right here with Chris Strausser. Let's do what Chris Strausser says. And that's why it was so much miscommunication, because you even had miscommunication in that room. So as I digress, I believe in Cole Popovich. These players believe in Cole Popovich.
Okay. Hell yeah. Solid answer.
Made me feel good about it.
Yeah.
Because this thing that I've been kicking around in the back of my head from watching how they've been playing in the preseason games, hearing what I am for practice and all the different things. I honestly think they gave up on Titus Howard playing right guard. I think even if Cam Robinson came back and they said we're going to start Cam, I think Titus Howard would start at right tackle and they bring Ursary, who can play both tackles, off the bench. Just because at this point, like you said, he hasn't had enough actual real snaps at right guard.
And you want to bring Ursary off the bench?
I don't want to. But if for some reason they want to start Cam Robinson, I don't think they would move Titus Howard back to right guard.
I don't think that. I think with what I've seen, what I've been able to witness in real time, I don't think that they're going to put Ariante on the bench only because this offense is based off of quick decisions. CJ, get the ball out your hand. This isn't Bobby Slowick, Kyle Shanahan's offense where you got 14 different plays coming in on second and 10 that you know that's not going to work. You're going to put you in third and long. So you got all these plays coming in your head, all these long route concepts. By the time CJ gets to the line, he can't even audible because he doesn't have enough time because the play clock is running down because Kyle Shanahan Jr. over there and Bobby Slowick has taken the whole time.
It kept taking so long to get out the huddle.
Right. Nick Caley is like, hey, get the play, go to the line, make the necessary adjustment, run the play. He's like, you know what you're doing. He's like, you know what you're doing, CJ. So I said that to say that even if you start Ariante, the rookie, like the quick decisions that's going to be made from CJ is going to be able to help him in real time.
Yeah. Ursary not the problem. I think it's the $14 million that you paid to Cam Robinson to have him sit on the bench. I think that's the problem, if anything.
Man, I think it happens.
Not to left tackles. Not to left tackles.
Yeah, but we're talking about Cam Robinson.
Yeah.
We talking about Cam.
It does happen to Cam quite a bit, apparently.
Hey, dude, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that they got Cam because they got Cam before the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They signed Cam before the draft. Do you think that they didn't think or believe that they would be able to get a player like Ariante in the draft? Did y'all think that they didn't think he would? He's a player they had on their board. They didn't think he was going to be there at the time, but you can't pass him up if he's still there.
Right.
I think they were really thinking. I think they were really thinking. Old boy from Alabama was really their interior lineman was their main mindset, and then he left, and then you're like, okay, I don't really like old boy that tore his knee from Ohio State. I'm not sold on him. I think this would be drafting Connerly too high, so they just pivoted. Just get out the pit.
Yeah.
And Ursary fell into their lap. And the reason why I say if he fell into their lap, because if he didn't and they was there playing the entire time, all the juggling back and forth about giving him a guaranteed contract like you gave Higgins wouldn't have been there. It wouldn't have been there. They wanted Higgins. They knew that from day one. And they paid him like they wanted him. Ursary was like, well, we'd be good if we get him.
Yeah.
And he fell into their lap.
I think
because if you knew you were getting Ursary, I don't think you would have. I probably would have still signed Cam, but I probably would have signed for Cam for closer to 8-9 instead of 14.
Yeah, I was thinking like you were in doubt. Like
14
is gone. You need it. You already need a left tackle. But I say, hey, you go with your best option or what you think is going to work, especially when you think about it, it's a new system. And like you say, for any of these guys, from Laken Tomlinson, from Ed Ingram, for any of these guys, we're not even going to talk about any of the guys that have already been there. But the new guys that came in, Trent Brown, that humongous human being. All of these guys come in and they might have had problems in different places and might come in Nick Caley's offense and stride. And, we don't know that, but I also think that we have enough offensive linemen to plug and play. And I think that it will also be a lot more simpler. Like he was talking about Bobby Slow, giving CJ 800 plays to try to think about while he's going to the line. It's taking him 25 minutes to get out the huddle. And before you know it, there's 1 second on the clock and D'Amico's running down the sideline like he's back in his linebacker days, calling timeout. And I think Nick Caley is making it simpler for everyone.
Did you see the frustration on CJ's face when them delay of games happened? You can see him frustrated. He's getting mad. So I was like, damn, that's what we doing?
Exactly. And he is a man of God, and he cannot get out of character. So
shit,
but with as a fan, of course. And that's my whole thing. I think with CJ taking the reins of the reindeer, he's makes CJ Santa Claus. Man, look, CJ Santa Claus. You got Dash and Dancer. You don't need Rudolph. Rudolph was the worst one. You don't need him. he just lights up the alleyway.
Yeah.
But that's my whole thing. We got 100 offensive linemen now. I'm sure all of them won't make the team, but you got 100 offensive linemen that I think that possibly would be able to you'll be able to plug and play them anywhere, even though they might not be, because I think it'll be simpler for them. Because sometimes all you need is to be able to do the simple things. I mean, people forget that. They see Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball while falling down and damn near completing the pass. And and just think that everything has to be complex and everything. Why it just can't be simple? Just give something simple. We know CJ can throw the ball. We know CJ can get us out of trouble if we need to. But CJ can't throw a quick. That was my problem with Bobby. So I swear, we didn't have anybody we could throw a quick slant route to ever, ever. You never saw it. But when they did do it, it worked. But and I'm not saying do it all the time, but sometimes it's just do it. Just a quick 3-4 yards.
Just to put in perspective, Stephon Diggs hurt himself on a slant route. It was a slant route that he hurt himself on.
He old. I don't care.
Hey, man, don't call that man up.
Curtis, as long as there is no, if you see either Jalen Thomas or Zach Thomas on the field, the season is done.
Oh God! Bro, we got a long way to get.
Are they gonna make the team? Are they gonna make the team?
I don't know, man.
We're guessing.
At this point. We're hoping not.
All right, Curtis, go ahead with your next question.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like Cam Robinson was brought in as an insurance policy. If they couldn't find anything in the draft that was going to complement or push Cam, then at least you have Cam to fall back on. I think it's great that Ursari's out here. Again, I still hope he ends up starting. I think that's the move, honestly.
I assume he was starting from now. It just seems like that what needs to happen. My bad, cut you off.
You're fine. Brandon says if your left leg is shorter than your right leg, then everyone then you the slant route. Don't be cheap on Stroud's protection now.
You're right.
All right. So pivoting from the offense, let's talk about defense. What is the actual ceiling for this defense? Because I feel like another year where Petrie's kind of like in his little spot, people are going to adjust. I'm wondering how much of what happened last year will be, in some way counteracted. Like what have other teams learned about how to get one over on the Texans defense?
I don't think they can. I think they equalize with having two outside defensive ends that cause problems by themselves, even with double teams. Just that right there means that you can't cheat. You can't bring extra protection. You can't do anything. And when all else fails, a healthy Christian Harris, EJ Speed, Toa, Aziz, you got linebackers that think their way through things. They're not just out there running with their hair on fire. And then you got defensive backs that you can put on the island. It's not fair. And I like it. I like it not being fair. Whatever you go to, this is the Floyd Mayweather of defenses. I got a counter for everything you do. I'm prepared for everything you do. Oh, you gonna keep 11 personnel on the field? All right. Be there for a while. It ain't gonna work for you. Oh, you want to go 4 receivers? Hey, your quarterback, I hope his insurance is caught up because they coming. Just with our front four, we don't even have to blitz. That is the one thing that the Eagles showed in the Super Bowl. If you don't have to blitz, it's hell on the other team.
Yep. Fair enough. Chris, you want to
go? So the defense, once again, something I don't care about because I think they have number one defense type of potential. I don't care about it because I feel like they're number one defense type of potential. I know what to expect from them. For a long time I wasn't sure about Derek Stingley until the past couple of years, mostly because he couldn't stay on the field. That was really his main issue when he first got here. He couldn't stay on the field. And so, it has you doing that. Is he a mistake? Then we got these two because, for some reason, they're just doing a wonderful job. And by the way, I want to congratulate you on saying a healthy Christian Harris because we don't know what he is. I don't even. We don't. We know what he is. We
Bro,
know what Christian Harris
we
is.
still don't even
without
know what was
knowing
wrong
he
with him.
is.
We still don't know what was
Exactly.
wrong. So,
Yeah, we know who he is. At the same time, we don't know who he is. Like, because I saw so much potential, and then I don't know. But you know, we got plenty of linebackers. The linebacker room is stacked. Like I say, the Miles Bryant thing, it doesn't. Every team got those type of players. I mean, and every team got those type of players. And I feel like D'Amico sees something in him that he don't see in anybody else that can come before. Think about it. Who can come before him?
shit, damn man.
Can't even answer that question. And
I get the rookies, both of them.
okay. You gotta wait until they get their chance.
Hey, I'll throw a
Just
wrench in.
gotta wait till they get there. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you gotta. I don't know. I feel like they gotta wait till they get their chance.
It'll happen.
There was something that I feel like we were talking about in the chat earlier, and I wanted to make that comparison right now, but I can't think because we're talking about too much. And with this other
Jimmy Ward is still a Texan.
For
Jimmy
that
Ward
is a good
Texan.
question. That is a good question.
Oh man.
Hey Curtis, you go before I go because I felt like I've been stealing your time, so I'm gonna go after you.
You're fine, bro. For me, I think the ceiling for this Texans defense is somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 Bears. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all of our linebackers are Hall of Famers like Mike Singletary, but I think with the defensive line being kind of, you know, we got a fair amount of guys who are over 30 in the interior of the defensive line. Fair amount. We're going to have to get real young and real fast in the next couple of years. But this year might be the last time that these guys are all kind of at the peak of their powers, so to speak. I love the secondary, even with CJ Gardner-Johnson being a question mark going into week 1. You know, whenever he comes back, that secondary's, you know, arguably the top secondary in the league. And it's really, I really can't think of another secondary actually who would be in the same breath. But the potential to absolutely wreck offensive lines and make every quarterback hate the fact that they play in the NFL because the secondary and Stingley's just breathing down everybody's neck back there. God, like I said, 85 Bears is the ceiling.
Ooh, 85.
Bears.
Yeah. How old are you, Curtis?
31.
Did you even see the 85 Bears?
Not live.
I did, but he did.
94.
I'm not old enough to see
I'm in
them
Tennessee.
play live.
Everybody else is in Texas. I became a Texans fan at a Titans-Texans game.
Oh, wow.
Like in Nashville. Before that, I was a Bears fan because my dad was a Bears fan and all that good jazz. So I learned all about the 85 Bears.
That 85 Bears was special. Now, I will say this. I had an opportunity to speak with, so, you know, Aaron Wilson from KPRC2. You know, Aaron used to cover the Baltimore Ravens. And he covered the Baltimore Ravens during a time that defense was hell on wheels.
Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis, all of them, right? And so I'm not gonna give away what he said because when you said 85 Bears, that reminded me, hey man, you remember the question you asked Aaron on camera? You need to clip that up and put it out. So hey, follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end, and then you'll find out what Aaron Wilson said. 85 Bears, I think, is pushing it because I watched the 85 Bears live, and that 85 Bears team probably didn't even need an offense. Like that 85 Bears defense, like they probably could have just stopped the team. They could have stopped if they got points for every time they stopped the team, then they would have won every game without the offense ever having to touch the field. So let's just say they got 3 points for every time they stopped the team on offense. They'd have probably ended the game with like 24 to 27 points to nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't really need an offense because they were so good that whatever mistake the offense made, it was almost like, hey, don't worry about it. Hey, y'all don't even take y'all helmets off. We finna go get y'all the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get the ball back, then y'all go ahead and do what you got to do. But we're gonna go get the ball back, and then we finna go over here and chill. If y'all can't sustain the drive, don't worry about it. We got your back. We're gonna come back out there. We're gonna get the ball again. So I don't know if I would say the 85 Bears. Now, real quickly to answer a couple of the questions. One, I think that the Houston Texans defense is top 3 in the NFL, and I'm not going to say they're number 3, and I'm not going to say they're number 1 because the Denver Broncos have one hell of a defense. Like the Denver Broncos has a hell of a defense. The Baltimore Ravens have a really good defense, and then I mean, even if you look at it, like, when I say I'm talking about the NFL. I know I mentioned 3 AFC teams, but I mean, when you also look at like the Minnesota Vikings and the scheme that Brian Flores runs, like they could have, you could look at them and their defense could be really good. But I think that the Houston Texans are a top 3 defense, and the reason why is because you mentioned about the age of the defensive linemen. The good thing for them is they have so many that they can rotate in and out that you're really not dependent on a Sheldon Rankins to play multiple consecutive snaps or consecutive series, excuse me. You're not looking at Foley Fatukasi to do that. You're not looking for Danico Autry when he comes back. You're not looking for Derek Bennett. Like you have you have so many players that you can rotate in and out just at that. Because to me, the weakness of if you had to say the weakness of the defense, it is the defensive tackles. And the only reason is because of what you said. There's a lot of experience. There's a lot of age there. And so you're going to be, rotating them in and out, and they can play that way because Rod Wright, defensive line coach Rod Wright, y'all enjoy him now. He won't be around for too much longer. I see Rod Wright maybe having 2 more years, maybe 2 with the Houston Texans, and then he gone. He going to go be a defense coordinator somewhere, because of the way he has cultivated and developed just that line alone. But they have a good rotation at defensive line, and they have a good rotation at linebackers. When it's time for them to make the cuts, some of these linebackers that are in that room are going to get cut. And if they get picked up by other teams because of what they've learned with the Texans, but also just because they're good, they're going to be able to get playing time other places. So we look at players like Henry To'oTo'o, Azeez Al-Shaair. We look at Christian Harris. So boom, we moved him to the side. Then coming behind them, you have EJ Speed and what's his name? Nick Neiman.
Yep, Neiman.
Nick Neiman, Jake Hansen.
Neiman. Yeah, Neiman has looked good. Jake Hansen has definitely come into his own. But then you got a player like Jamal Hill, who moved from the safety position to the linebacker position his last year at Oregon, and going into his second year. This is his 3rd complete year of playing the linebacker position, but his 2nd in the NFL, and he's getting it. And the one thing that D'Amico loves about him is he's not as fast as Christian Harris, but he's fast. And so when you have that heavy rotation, a healthy linebackers, healthy defensive line, then you look at C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I wrote these things down so I wouldn't forget because I'm old and I be forgetting. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and even if he doesn't come back week 1, with the way that front 7 plays, it helps a player like MJ Stewart, who may not have all the skills and intangibles of a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but as long as you're getting that pressure up front, then that helps on the back end because you got 2 cornerbacks that are going to do what they need to do. And then you got Kalen Kalen Bullock and MJ Stewart. So you're able to do that because of the amount of pressure that's being put on that front seven. So they don't have to rush CJ Gardner-Johnson back. When he does come back, you got 2 ball hawking safeties. But I said all that, right? I was long-winded about that. I feel like I'm a Baptist preacher because, a Baptist preacher, after he gets everything, now, you got to end your sermon. And all I'm going to say is that there's 1, not 2, not 3, 1 player that's going to make that whole defense go. And that's Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr. That is the tweet. That young man is in great shape. He has a mindset of, I want to destroy everything in front of me. He has been screaming out in practice, y'all run that to the other side. The other side. Don't come to this side over here because you ain't going to get nothing over here. He is by far one of the best defensive. I've been watching football consciously since 1975. 1975. Will Anderson is, I put him up there with some of, like, I have to go back and I have to think, but to see it in real time. And remember now, I covered JJ too. I've said this before. People got mad at me. I don't care because JJ is the Texan savior. I know. And this probably ain't gonna give me no love offering. I was trying to preach a little bit so we can get money for the building fund. But since they ain't gonna go ahead and give me none of that.
Let's be honest.
Will Anderson is better than JJ Watt. JJ Watt has even said that. But Will Anderson Jr., if he stays healthy and stays on this trajectory, he may not win. Or JJ won 4 defensive players of the year. 3. He may not win 3 defensive players of the year. He may just win 1. He's going to be multiple All-Pro. Check me out. Give me a second right quick. Last season, when Will got hurt in October in the he got hurt in that Jets game. You remember now, he got hurt the same day he found out he was AFC Defensive Player of the Month. If you go back and if you look at him, a healthy season, right? A healthy season of Will Anderson Jr. If you take his numbers and the trajectory that he was on, match those with the players who made All-Pro at his position the year before, without a shadow of a doubt, the Houston Texans would have had 2 All-Pro players last year. So now, what does that do? Now, Will has this chip on his shoulder that he doesn't feel like he gets the respect that he needs, because when everybody started talking about defensive ends, when everybody started talking about edge rushers, they go straight to Max Crosby, they go to Hendrickson, they go to TJ Watt, they go to Myles Garrett, and they never really just put Will Anderson Jr. in that tier. They got him, oh man, you got to play enough, and put no, he's done enough to show that you can put him. And when you have how many MVPs Lamar Jackson won? 2
of them.
Yeah.
Should have won.
Should have been 3.
They robbed him last year.
They had to give it to somebody else.
It's like giving Michael Jordan MVP every year or LeBron. You can't
giving that to Josh Allen was like when they gave Steve Nash the MVP over Shaq. He's like, what? What? So, but
I've said it over and over. Joe Burrows actually should have got the MVP if you're gonna give it to somebody else
outside of Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson balled out. But with that being said, when you have a player, a multi NFL player MVP say, I didn't realize he was that damn fast. And I didn't realize he was that damn fast. And I didn't realize how long his reach was and how strong his hands was. This is what Lamar Jackson said to me after the Baltimore Ravens beat them in a divisional round, Will's rookie year. Do you remember? Will caught him. Will, he scrambled out and Will caught him. And so with Will's reach and as strong as his hands have gotten, and he's fast. I'm like, look, Curtis, that's why I told you to go first, because I knew I was going to be long-winded, because you asked about the defense. And Will, and like, don't get me wrong, Danielle Hunter's a dog too. But Will is that, and they got him they got him his partner back in Rankins, and they sit right next to each other. Rankins is a big influence. Outside of Rankins, I would say the other big influence on Will Anderson is Jonathan Grenard. But hey, man, it's just one. Will Anderson Jr. All right, the doors of the church are now open.
I gotta say one thing before we run on, and like this, you're gonna hear from here first. When everybody's always talking about Will Anderson, the one person that I always still compare him to, and it's maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should, he's more Lawrence Taylor than anything else. That guy that was big, aggressive, he was quick, he liked to get there. Yes, he's playing defensive end, but a couple years ago, he'd have been an outside linebacker.
Well, you remember now when he came to the Texans, that's the first time he's put his hand in the dirt.
Yep.
He didn't play with his hand in the dirt in college. Well, not continuously like he's doing now.
Not as a play. He would do it because he'd get down there, and what he said, he would get in a track pose.
Yeah.
He put two hands in the dirt, not that one hand down, because he knew I'm going to get the quarterback. That's why I keep saying Lawrence Taylor. That's who he reminds me of. He's great against the run. He's great against the pass. Oh, and you're going to run a screen out there too? Oh, good luck.
Without the drugs and the legal issues.
Hey, yeah. I said the football player, not the guy off the field. The guy off the field, his mama would get mad at me on that.
Just think about it. The drugs might have been back then. Think about it, man. Them boys,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Think about it like this. In all the sports, we all know we not crazy. We know drugs was crazy back then. But just think about it, man. I'm gonna use the NBA for an example. Man, they used to beat each other up in the NBA. Like beat each other up. We're not gonna talk about basketball and get up and play the next. These people will go out there with how you going out there collarbones wrapped up?
Hey, remember in the locker room, NFL locker room, they used to be in there smoking cigarettes at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize that it wasn't until like 88, 87 that steroids were federally banned. So like just prior to that, everybody was just
La Zato.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. So I have two questions left, and then I know Chris has a couple. We'll save the Mixon one for last, but if there was a surprise player to make the roster, who do you guys think that player would be?
Oh,
Toe guy.
I'm gonna need a second because once again,
Toe guy.
don't care about you if you ain't playing.
Toe guy, because that defensive, like you just said, that defensive line is so stacked. But he's been playing his ass off.
Yeah, and I like the Hufanga, the other. I think he's undrafted.
The rookie from Utah, is it?
Yeah, Utah State or some shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, no.
You said Tommy, right? Tommy Toga.
Yeah,
yep.
Toga.
Tommy Two Guns. That's his nickname. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, because bro, look.
Hold on. The question is surprise if they don't make it or if they do make it.
Surprise players to make the roster.
And I say, and the only reason is because I know he's playing like crazy, but that defensive line is so stacked. Like you said, Dylan Horton is on the defensive line. He's playing great. Solomon Bird's playing great. You still got Barnett. You still got got 6 ends that are gonna go play for other teams. Then you get into the interior. Bro, we signed like 4 interior guys to actually play. Tim Settle's playing his ass off. Fotokase was brought back because of what he does. And Sheldon Rankins, are we gonna have 13 defensive linemen? That's not the only way this is gonna work.
I'm like seriously counting and like, man.
I just named like 12.
Look, all I'm gonna say is I don't envy any of the coaches for having to do roster cut down day because they're just gonna be sitting there like shit. Like
this means you got a good football team. This means you got a good football team.
And that's why it brings me to mind, even though Like I'm seriously leaning like Dameon Pierce because like I just and
that would hurt me.
If Dameon Pierce.
It's because I'm trying to think of a name, and like Dameon Pierce seems like it should not be the name that I'm saying, but it is. I don't have any explanation, but that you got Woody Marks who just drafted him. I don't, even though Dare's the gadget guy, like
don't forget Jawar Jordan.
Jawar Jordan is playing his ass off too, man.
And I just Dameon Pierce can't stay healthy. There's a lot of things that I bring into this when I'm thinking about Dameon Pierce.
Bro, our top three running backs can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I know, but two of them are easily better than Dameon Pierce.
Well, I mean, if you're
I'm not sure.
Nick Chubb, we gonna hold that thought on Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
We'll hold that thought on Nick Chubb. But okay, so whatever. We're gonna go with the name before. Man, it's because I don't want to say that, but Woody Marks ain't going nowhere. You got and I don't believe I would be. You talk about the person that they say that would make. I would be surprised if they cut Dare. I would be surprised, but I know it can happen. But I would be surprised.
As well as Frank talked about Dare on Tuesday, Dare ain't going nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Dare ain't going nowhere.
And I still like British Brooks, but he didn't stand a chance this year. Didn't stand a chance.
But that's just like Mechie didn't stand a chance. God, and they just picking up special teams, wide receivers, I guess. Every day I see them, we just gonna pick up a special teams wide receiver. God, man.
So the question is, who will we be surprised if they made it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going after you, Mike. Go ahead.
I already went. I went.
I'm done. Mine was Dameon Pierce.
Yours, Dameon Pierce. What you got, Curtis?
Oh man,
Pierce is gonna be my surprise too, because I was like, because normally and Curtis, I'm sorry, real quickly.
You're fine.
I like that because in the past you'd be like, oh man, we can just keep Dameon for special teams. Well, they got a lot of players that can play special teams now, so you just can't. If I ain't getting no run in my position, I just go run and play on special teams. No, they got some people that can play special teams now, but so
they pay guys to come play special teams.
Right.
Yeah.
My bad, Curtis. Your turn.
You're good. You're good. All right. So 2 names immediately jump out. Surprised if they make the roster. Just because there's absolutely no way in hell. If Graham Mertz makes this roster, man, I'm gonna be so mad.
Bro,
I'll be like, bruh, what? We could have used that spot somewhere else.
Bro, we could have used that draft pick somewhere else.
Yeah, for real. No, but beyond that, I think it would be. I'm not a big MJ Stewart fan. I know that he knows the defense and all that other stuff, but
I just he doesn't come to my mind because I think he automatically. Sorry to cut you off, but I just automatically think that MJ Stewart. I feel like MJ Stewart just has a.
Well, and the other thing is like MJ Stewart's like he's everywhere. He does everything, special teams. He's got utility, and I get that. That makes players stick around.
First team defense.
But that's like Dare. But also, I just think Dare's a better
asset. All right, Sarge.
So wait, that's it, Curtis? You said Graham Mertz and MJ Stewart?
MJ Stewart.
Yeah.
All right. So my surprise was going to be Dameon Pierce, but that's gone.
I apologize.
I got two names. The first one is I'd be surprised if D'Angelo Ross makes this team.
You and me both.
Yeah, good one. I would be surprised if D'Angelo Ross makes this team, and I'm saying that because one, like your forever meme with what Amari Cooper did to you 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember, he was reaching up for him like Papa. But
Oh God!
right, you remember that, right?
Help. Yeah.
That's when Amari went off, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, he had like
all right,
205 yards. Oh my God!
but if you just look like, and he may play better this week against the Lions, but like D'Angelo Ross hasn't been, showing up. And when you got a bunch of hungry cornerbacks waiting to play, because look at like so it's Derek Stingley, and then you got Kamari Lassiter, right? So now everybody else is trying to get their playing time. Like Jalen Smith is coming. There's no doubt about it. Jalen Smith is coming, and there's nothing on in that defensive backfield that anybody can do, because he's the 3-level player. He can play outside, he can play nickel, and he can play safety. And he got the same mentality as Kamari. He got the same mentality as Kalen. Like, he just as like animated, ferocious. You not finna beat me, and if you do, okay, because he, of course he's getting beat because he's a rookie. Bryce Young picked on him a lot. Andy Dalton picked on him a lot during the joint practice, but like he's learning. He's learning in real time. So then you got him, and then look, I know he may not make the team, but he's showing that he's changed his life, and he still has some football left in him. And I'm talking about Arnett. Arnett is showing that he still has some football left in him. And so, and like I said, there's a couple of more cornerbacks that, that I won't name right now. But so I'll be surprised if D'Angelo Ross makes it. And I don't think Justin Watson makes this team.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think, and the reason why I don't think Justin Watson makes this team is when Mechie was when Mechie was on the team, I had Justin Watson as the odd man out, because when you look, you got, like we said, Nico, Christian Kirk, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Braxton Berrios, and if
Hutch.
it's me, huh? Oh yeah, and Hutch. I forgot Hutch. Yeah, Hutch should have been up number 3. Hutch is a number 3 wide receiver, y'all. I'm just gonna say, and I
love it.
I know that everybody wants Higgins to be number 3, and Higgins is a dog. Don't get me wrong, but Higgins is going to have to. So Higgins is going to have to beat Hutch for that spot. He's going to have to beat him. Like they don't get me wrong, because he was drafted higher than him, he may get the start. And Higgins is good. Don't let nobody tell you that Higgins ain't good. He's good. He's just a rookie, still learning. But remember now, Xavier Hutchinson was Jaden Higgins before Jaden Higgins at Iowa State. They got the same resume coming out of Iowa State. And so,
except Xavier did it longer.
Yeah. And so, like I said, so Nico, Kirk, X, Higgins, Noel, Berrios.
That's 6.
You don't need a 7th wide receiver. Like, you don't need a 7th wide receiver. And if you do, then you're missing out somewhere else. Like, you carry 6 wide receivers, and then you could, that spot could be reserved for somebody else, right? And so I don't think Justin, and I also believe that, and this is going to sound like blasphemy because I know he's a rookie. God bless you. He's a rookie. He's an undrafted rookie. But this young man has so much potential, and that's Daniel Jackson out of the University of Minnesota. The wide receiver from the
85.
Yes, that young man can catch, and he can run routes. Like, he can catch, but he can also run routes. And I'm saying to myself, I get it. Justin Watson came from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been in the league longer. They want to give him the opportunity. Got it. But given a chance, like, I would keep Daniel Jackson just to put him on if I'm gonna keep him, I'll put him on the practice squad, but I'll keep him.
Stash.
Yeah, you got to, because if you lose him, he ain't coming back. I think Nick Caserio said on Tuesday that when he was with the Patriots, they wanted Braxton Berrios, and they had him, I think, and they cut him, and then somebody picked him up, and now this is his opportunity to finally get him back after so many years. That's what's going to happen if you cut Daniel Jackson. So I would be surprised if Justin Watson makes his team.
Good, valid.
I mean, it's not. He didn't really play the last couple of years. It's not like he got on the field as much with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
bro. He was the Chiefs' Xavier Hutchinson. Whenever he got on the field, oh shit, nobody's open. Justin Watson somehow.
Yep. All right, now for the heavy hitter, Joe Mixon, Gardner Johnson. What's the status week 1? Do we know anything?
So when CJ first went down, CJ Gardner Johnson first went down on a routine play. It was just really like a routine play. And it's funny because the play was against John Mechie.
Oh, God.
The play was against John Mechie. But when he went down, and then they brought out the cart, and then you think back to that's the exact same way he was hurt, I think, when he was in Detroit.
Yeah.
And they brought the cart out for him, and he missed some time. So you're thinking, okay, he's going to miss some time. And then I was traveling from West Virginia to go to Minnesota for their first game. So when I landed, I was, my phone started blowing up, and I was told, hey, he's going to miss some time. The way that it's looking right now, it looks like he's going to be out for at least, the first 3 weeks. He's going to miss like the first 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. And then I seen him. I seen him the other day. Well, I had been hearing that it ain't as bad, but they may just want to hold him out. And then I seen him walking the other day, and then I seen him in the joint practice talking, and I said, they're not going to be able to keep him out. They're not. If he can even go, if he feels like he can go 75, if he can go 80%, he's going to play. It's going to be hard to keep him out. And I mean, with no Jimmy Ward, with no Jalen Reed, because the crazy part about it is, if Jalen Reed doesn't get hurt, he's getting a lot of playing time right now. And that young man was looking good in camp, like really good. But so CJ Gardner Johnson, like I said, I seen him in the joint practice. I was like, okay. So then on Tuesday, they had him doing some rehab stuff, and he was on the field. He was on the backfield working, right? And I'm saying to myself, just looking at him, I'm saying, this dude gonna be back way faster than what was reported. You could potentially see him back, if not week 1, at least week 2, because just the way that he was looking as far as moving and being fluid, I'm saying to myself, and he wants to play. So the thing is, CJ Gardner Johnson is one of those players where it's like, I don't want to. So you know how hard it was to pull Kobe out of a game? That's how it is for him. He got to play. If you're not going to let him play, then you're going to have to put him somewhere where he can't be around none of this. Because if he around any of this, hell, he liable to run on the field with no pads on, like during practice, of course. But so CJ Gardner Johnson may be back quicker than expected. That's all you asked me about, right?
And Mixon.
You did ask me about Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
So I was initially told a couple of weeks ago, hey man, Joe should probably be back that last week of training camp. That last week of training camp and getting ready to play against, that he probably won't play any of the preseason games, but he will be, back playing with the offense. That's what I was told earlier. And then I started to get some report from sources saying, oh no, there's a 50-50 chance that he may or may not make it back this week. So then I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper. So Saturday, I dug a little deeper, and Texas fans may not want to hear this, but there's a 50-50 chance that you may not see Joe Mixon until week 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a 50-50 chance that you may not see Joe Mixon. You may not see him till week 4. Now, say it's a 50-50 chance. 50% says you may not see him in week 4. 50% say you may see him by at least week 2.
Interesting.
It's so the thing is that it seems like he gets to a certain part of the rehab and then he may suffer a setback or something happens, and then it's kind of like almost resetting the table a little bit from what I'm told. Because Joe Mixon could hear this and then he'd be like, Sarge capping. And I'd be like, well, I can only go by what I hear, and that you want to tell me, you want to tell me yourself.
Tell me you're playing.
Yeah, right. So it's just a 50-50 chance that you may see in week 2, may see in week 4. I don't think you'll see Joe Mixon. But then again, I don't know. I listen. I used to think that, I call Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is a real life Black Panther. Like, he's really from Wakanda. He really has vibranium in his system. Like, he really does. I've never seen anybody heal like he does. Like, he heals so quickly. And so maybe Joe Mixon got some of that in his blood. It's just, there's a lot of people, because the information is being given out, disseminated slowly, but there's a lot of people protecting that information on what's going on with Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
The gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like literally trying to hide the Illuminati kind of gatekeeping.
Right.
That's him being unavailable for however long is a big reason why one of my surprise players to make the roster was not Dameon Pierce. If Joe Mixon is not available till, they're thinking week 4, I think Dameon Pierce and Nick Chubb and Woody Marks and potentially even Dare, that's your running back room, and they put Joe on some sort of list until he can come back.
Is Dameon taking snaps yet? Is he taking real snaps?
Yep, he took some today.
Okay.
Yeah.
He took some last week. He took some today. He just didn't participate in the joint practice. He didn't participate in the game.
So is he possibly playing this weekend? Is he the one person we might see that we don't expect?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because, like, would it be in the last preseason game? You really want to see what you have in Woody Marks. You really want to see what you have in Jawar Jordan. And I mean, Dare may even get a couple of snaps. Nick Chubb probably won't get any because he'll probably be the week 1 starter. I don't know. I don't know, because you also got to think about it like this. And I don't even know how this happened. For a guy who was so durable during college, how did Dameon Pierce become so injury prone in the NFL?
Because he split time in college.
Yeah. But he scored a touchdown every 7 carries.
Yeah.
That was the weird part about it. He scored a touchdown every 7 carry. Every 7th carry for him, he scored a touchdown. And
he's fresh. That's what it was. He's fresh.
One of the questions I asked him coming into the league, I was like, with so, with you still being, I said most NFL, most running backs coming out of college have a lot of miles on their body as far as playing time and carries are concerned. How do you feel, coming into the NFL, knowing that you don't have that amount of mileage on you? And now I look up and I was like, damn, every time I turn around, he hurt.
Yeah.
That hammy.
Yeah.
Them hammies.
I got to change his running style too.
Yeah, because that first year he was running like a bulldozer, going just
contact magnet
downhill, and now he looks like he's avoiding it like the plague. And I don't understand the stark contrast there. Like he ran about as angry as you could possibly run against Jacksonville his rookie year.
Yeah.
That like 20-yard run or whatever where he broke like 8 people.
Pushing one guy off.
Yeah.
That Tennessee run last year looked good too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When did he get hurt?
It was like the middle of the year. Like while
no, what I'm saying, he played
oh.
he played his ass off that last game of the season, didn't touch the field other than returning kicks during the playoffs. And then he came into this year hurt.
Was bad at.
So let me say this, right? And I want y'all to know this. And so I said in 2025, I stopped saying pause. I stopped saying no H word. You know what I'm, because I don't want to get y'all demonetized. So I stopped saying pause. I stopped saying hey yo. I stopped saying no Diddy. I stopped saying all of that. Right. So I'm prefacing that because of what I'm about to say. That's what I'm talking about. What a pit.
Yeah.
So I think what it is too is because Damian has massive thighs that it makes him. I know y'all looking like, hey, but
no.
You know what I'm saying. And when your legs are that powerful, you know you're subjected to get those hamstring pulls, especially with the way that he runs and how he runs.
Yeah,
so,
there's no jogging for him. It's always no.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that he was huge? Terrence Knighton was a defensive tackle for I think the Jaguars and the Broncos for a little bit. I think he was on that Broncos team that won the Super Bowl with Peyton. But I think Chris Collinsworth was doing a game and they were talking about like what they look for in a defensive lineman. And they literally are talking about, look at his ass. I'm like, all right. I feel like we should have gone a different direction here, but yeah.
Like, did he say that? Did he say that?
They say it all the time. It's a real. No, they do. He didn't say
what they said. He needs a thick lower half. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh man, those compilation videos of everybody just taking football commentary out of context is.
I don't think they took Jerry Jones out of context. I think that was right on the money.
Jerry Jones.
He should.
Chris, what were some of the questions you
were all right. Now let's venture off. We didn't talk enough Texans. Let's venture off to the rest of the AFC South. Curtis runs like 25 podcasts. He got like 25. If he ain't on them, he running. It's fine. Curtis got like 25 podcasts and involves the entire AFC South. Love you guys until game day.
Yeah.
Until game day. So,
but not the Titans. I always hate the Titans. I always do.
And the Cowboys.
All right. And so, first question, before we got started, Curtis exposed my first question, but gonna be simple. Trying something new today, guys. Answer at will. Y'all take it as long as y'all want. I prefer y'all not, but some people gotta go to work tomorrow. But first question: what impact do you think the Colts will have with Daniel Jones starting over Anthony Richardson? If any change at all in the team, what do you guys think about that?
They're basically the same person except for one's chocolate, one's vanilla.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, Anthony Richardson is an injury-prone guy. He wasn't good at Florida. I really feel like your ceiling is probably higher with him because you don't know what you can fix entirely. But Daniel Jones seems a lot more set in stone. You know what you're gonna get. I don't imagine much impact at all. I have the Colts being like last place in the division anyway.
Daniel Jones is more accurate. And that's saying much. He's more accurate than Anthony.
The bar is
that's sad. That's a you know, I was hearing that they were having such a problem picking a quarterback because they were trying to pick the one that wasn't worse than the other, and that's crazy to me.
Damn. Sarge?
Oh, well, so real quickly, because I'm looking at the Colts roster right now, and I'm saying to myself, now if I'm Josh Downs, right, who do I want throwing the ball to me? Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones? Okay, so if I am Adonai Mitchell, who do I want throwing the ball to me? Do I want Daniel Jones throwing me the ball or Anthony Richardson? Michael Pittman Jr. Who do I want throwing the ball to me? Tyler Warren, right? Tyler Warren is probably the only person that wants Daniel Jones, because when you have a quarterback as trash as Daniel Jones, the tight end becomes your best friend, right? Your tight end becomes your best friend because all you're doing is dumping the ball down. Listen, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand what everybody's saying about Anthony Richardson. I was wrong on him coming out of the draft because I was at the combine watching him and CJ go back and forth. They 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and CJ was killing him when it came to throwing those short intermediate routes, throwing the ball before the wide receiver came out of the break. But then I'm saying to myself, I seen Anthony Richardson throw like 70, 75 yards without really even taking a step. Like it was a casual, there you go. That's like 70, 75 yards. And I'm saying he has a powerful arm. He just can't throw short intermediate routes. And if somebody teaches him how to throw short intermediate routes, then probably it'll be different, especially with his physical makeup and the other intangibles that he brings to the field. But like you said, he can't stay healthy. And in the NFL, the best ability is availability. So listen. Well, hey, whatever happened to Ellinger? He don't play for them no more. Because I would take Ellinger before I take Daniel Jones.
No, he's gone.
I would go get him. I would go get Ellinger before. Listen, I would.
What about Payne?
Does Phil Simms still have any eligibility left? Because I would get him. Listen, Daniel Jones couldn't start for me in a co-ed flag football game. He is. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
He's horrible. Oh, look. Okay, so
bro, he's fast. He's fast.
Look, full stop.
It's so fast and tripped over his own
the Houston Texans, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Have been since 1975 when I was conscious of what football was. And if you weren't watching the Cowboys in my house, you couldn't live in my house. My grandmama would put you out. So I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for that long. Meaning that I watched a lot of Daniel Jones when he was with the New York Giants. And I said to myself, I didn't think that I could see a quarterback that processes slower than Dak Prescott, but here he is. Daniel, I'm just saying, man, listen, let me tell you something. Me and Daniel, look, I wouldn't play catch in the backyard with Daniel Jones because I don't even know if he'd be able to get me the ball.
Damn.
I think that the Indianapolis Colts are making the worst mistake ever. Now, listen, I get it. You're not going to start Anthony Richardson. Cool. You got to go get you another quarterback. You got to get you another quarterback. If I was them, if I was the Colts, I would have been inquiring about Shake Milton before the Cowboys got him. I'd have been like, hey.
Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Joe, yeah. I would have been like, hey, anything named Shake, though?
No, that's the basketball.
Nah, that's the basketball player.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, Joe Milton. I would have been like, hey, what y'all want for him? Well, I would have been saying, like, hey, go to Cleveland. Flacco's going to need a job here pretty soon. Ask him if he can come back. And didn't he used to play for the Colts, too?
Last year.
Last year?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm not. That's all. I'm not taking that.
They let you go.
Kirk Cousins is still looking for a job.
Oh God, yeah, like you could get Kirk Cousins. He getting paid anyway.
Exactly. And yeah,
he bring in a mid off.
He gonna need he gonna need somewhere where to land since they won't let him Dougie down in Atlanta no more.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh God.
All right, Chris.
Okay, so next question. We're gonna slide over to the glitter kitties. All right. So, do you guys think that the Jags, and I want to phrase this question right, do you guys think the Jags mess with their future by moving up and drafting Travis Hunter?
Like, did they leverage the farm on Travis Hunter being like the guy?
Yeah. I know why they did it, but
they still gonna suck. That's my answer. They still gonna suck.
And like that's my thing, because they don't even have a first for next year. That's really my reasoning for asking that question, because they don't have a first for next year, and you're betting on this guy being able to play both sides.
Yeah.
I can't shake my head far enough for that one.
I think both sides he actually ends up playing, like what the actual split will be. I can't imagine that he's 100%, getting 100% of reps on both sides of the ball. If he does, his career will be like 3.5 years, and then he'll be, in a wheelchair.
You think it'll last that long? I'm being dead serious too. Like, not trying to make a joke about it, but like I got he can do it at Colorado. Cool. I know a lot of people can't do it, but to try to do that for, man, I don't know. He's hurt now.
I say, Sarge, have you seen him in person before?
Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
No, I seen Shador. I don't think I seen Travis Hunter at the combine. I think I seen Shador.
I've seen Travis in person before. He's undersized for a receiver and a cornerback. Both positions, he's small.
How tall is he?
He's tall, but he's not. He's light in the ass.
He's frail. Buck 78.
And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, bro, you didn't work him that wide receiver from Stanford? Was it the Stanford game he got worked?
Ayamaner or whatever.
Yeah. Eric Ayamaner.
Yeah, he's with the Titans.
And I was like, bro, you think you're finna come in here and hold? I just don't see. I think that he's a very good athlete. And Curtis, you can go. I just want to say I don't know if I'll save mine.
Okay. I mean, I was just saying that, it seems like they're going to try to burn the candle at both ends with him. And the NFL, like, the human body doesn't handle NFL football very well. And I think there's a good chance that it kind of blows up in their face if they don't get all pro level production at one position or the other out of Travis Hunter.
Oh my God, I got 30 pounds on Travis Hunter. And I'm just looking at
tickets they're gonna sell tickets and jerseys. That's the thing about
it. That is it.
I no, he will not be on the Browns.
He won't even be in the NFL. He won't be in the NFL 2 years.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in the NFL. He won't be on the Browns though.
I think he'd be a wide receiver.
You know what Anthony Richardson would be great at? The Raiders.
Yeah, if Al Davis was still around, he would have drafted the hell out of that man.
Tom Brady can rebuild him.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
So let me say this about. You don't think so?
Nope. He can't throw the easy passes. Tom Brady we were just talking about this the other day, guys. We were talking about Tom Brady, the Wes Welker, and all.
Edelman, Amendola, all them.
Yeah, I just.
So who's ever taught Anthony Richardson how to do that? How many offensive coordinators did he have? In the limited playing time that he played, how many offensive coordinators didn't he have like 3 in college?
I don't know.
No, he
didn't play enough.
He might not have had he's right. He was in college for 3 years. He only played.
What he played 10 games. He only played like 10 games.
13.
15, right?
He only played 1.
13.
13.
But that's the thing about it. He did have 3 offensive coordinators. And Shane.
Okay, what about high school? He played like 10 games in high school. His high school, same thing.
We're not going to talk about high school. Shane Steichen was used to getting quarterbacks that already knew how to play quarterback. That's not Anthony Richardson. You say whatever you want about that guy in Philly, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts knows how to play quarterback.
See, number one, man, first of all, shout out to Jalen Hurts, H-Town native. Love him. I've been rooting for Jalen Hurts, especially whenever he left Alabama. Because I don't care.
Someone come get me.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, wasn't that against us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody come get me. I'm tired.
Hey, man.
Hold on,
Hey,
to be
I'm
fair,
gonna have somebody come get me too if I got Will and Daniil running at me.
But to be fair, though, he was coming back off of injury. That was like his first game he had played in how long? So he was just winded. Like it's a difference right?
But we never seen that before. I'd never seen that in my life.
You never seen a player run off the field with taking their jersey off, but until you seen Antonio Brown. I mean, it's always a first for everything, right?
Yeah.
So
that boy stripped down.
Hey, look, Antonio Brown won him a ring first, though.
Right. So
Antonio Brown walked into the locker room in his jockstrap, man.
But there's somebody, I feel like that there is somebody that can help him. Where is who was the offensive coordinator that used to be for the 49ers? Then he went and was with the Ravens. He was offensive coordinator for Colin Kaepernick, and he was offensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson for a while.
Was it Morning League or something like that?
No. It was Greg something, wasn't it?
Oh,
Roman?
Not Olsen.
Greg Roman. Yep.
Greg Roman.
Greg Roman might be able to fix that. He might.
You see what I'm saying? Because he's played with those type of quarterbacks before who was freak athletes, powerful arm. And look, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. Like, Lamar Jackson is one of my favorite players. But Lamar Jackson, he could throw, but one of the things he had to work on was his accuracy too. Big arm, had to work on his accuracy. Colin Kaepernick, big arm, had to work on his accuracy. Had to get better as far as being more accurate.
Well, with that being said, did y'all see Trey Lance for San Diego?
I didn't watch it.
Trey Lance looks like a quarterback. He looked good for San Diego for some reason. All of a sudden, it's like, wow.
Do you know who their offensive coordinator is?
Who?
Greg Roman.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is it really?
Full circle. Yep. Yes, full circle. There you go.
Look at Sarge. Using that old mind. But real quickly because I know we got to move along. Travis Hunter, right? Because I got a pack too. Travis Hunter. So this is what I wrote down, right, with the Jags. You asked if the Jags mortgage their future away by getting Travis Hunter, right? I don't think that the owner is Shad Khan. Right? That's the owner, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He could care less about draft picks. He could care less about what Travis Hunter does on the field. All he cares about is money. He don't give a damn about owning that team is just like that's his owning the Jags is like his yacht money for yacht gas money, or he's like that's his bag money that he'd be like, hey, how much it costs? Oh, what you saying? What 700,000? Oh, don't worry about it. Hey, bring me that bag over there. No, that one got 3.5 million in it. Bring me that one over here. Like that's what the Jags is. Because don't he own a European soccer team?
Yep. And his son owns All Elite Wrestling.
They're loaded. So they don't care about nothing. They don't care if they don't ever win a championship. If it's left up to him, he's going to move that team to London. The Jags will be the first team to be the first NFL team to play overseas, because now he know he can go over there and he can make more money, because all he's going to do is put that team in his stadium and then charge the fans and charge the NFL for using the stadium. So I say all that to say that all that man cares about is money. He don't give a damn about nothing else. You know how I know he only cares about money? Because you remember when the experiment called Tim Tebow was playing tight end? You remember they brought him back when this is when they had the
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer was an experiment.
That was Urban Meyer era.
I call him finger banger. But look, when Tim Tebow was supposed to be the experiment tight end for the Jags, you know that they sold Tim Tebow jerseys in the team store. How do you do that for a training camp? Like, what was it even training camp or was it just mini camp?
It was training camp.
He made it through all the preseason.
They had his jersey and they made so much money off that Tim Tebow jersey. It's like having a Tim Tebow Jacksonville Jaguar jersey is like having a Atlanta Hawks Carmelo Anthony jersey, right? So
wow.
So all he cares about is money. So yes, he don't care about giving up those picks. He got Travis Hunter because that's going to put butts in seats. He's going to sell jerseys, and they're going to put all the eyes on the Jags, and he can sell more sponsorship. Where I feel that Travis Hunter is doing himself a disservice, and I don't think he has the right people in his ear. And I'm not talking about Coach Deion Sanders because, he's at a point in his life where now Coach Sanders should still be a mentor to him, but he got to get some other, because Coach Sanders got his own thing going on with his health. He's coaching a team. He got to please Perucci. Like, he got a little young girl, he got a little young girl on the little young tender now. So
she young for us. So I know she young for him.
So he has to get a positive role model in his life to tell him, hey man, they're only gonna pay you a certain amount of money. They're not gonna pay you to be a cornerback and a wide receiver. And the NFL stands for not for long. If you think that you're gonna come in and do what you did in high school, think what you did in college, you think you're gonna do this in the NFL? Let me tell you something, young man. You don't know what it feels. You ain't never really felt a hit until you felt one of them big pulling guards get out and you trying to come down and make a tackle and he crushes you. And you thinking that you're still going up against a high school offensive lineman, or you're thinking that you're going up against a college offensive lineman when this dude had been in the league for 5 years and you didn't think he was quick as he was. Or you're running, trying to keep up with a wide receiver, and you get crushed from the other side from one of the tight ends that wasn't, these tight ends. We had these tight ends in the Big 12. Ain't that where they're in the Big 12, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that feels right.
So with that being said, Travis Hunter is going about this thing the wrong way. You don't have anything. If it was me, I would tell Travis Hunter, you don't have anything to prove, son. Find you a position. If you want to be a cornerback, then play cornerback. If you want to play wide receiver, play. But you got to pick one and focus on it, because there's no possible way. I'm going to use the Texans as an example. There's no possible way you're going to go up against Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter and go through what you're going to have to go through that as a wide receiver and then turn around and try to hold Nico Collins. There's no possible way. And Nico Collins, and I'm just using Nico as an example. Nico's physical, and he will beat you up. You're too small. You're too small. He will physically move you out of the way, and then you're gonna turn right back around and now have to go up against Kamari and Derek again. Like, I just don't see it. I know I got long-winded, but that's one of the things I just can't see. I think he's doing himself a disservice. Now, if they give him $1 billion contract, then I'll be like, hey, go out there and play as many snaps as Sean says do.
And no, but that's just why I said it. Why I wish somebody like Charles Woodson would call him.
Yes.
Charles got to the NFL and made that decision.
Yeah.
Charles got to the NFL and said, I'm a cornerback.
Yep.
They said, well, we got a few plays for you on receiver. He said, I'll run.
Even Deion didn't go both ways, and he one of the best defensive backs to ever play the game.
Yeah.
He one of the best athletes to ever play the game, and he even said, got to the league and said, I play when we go for the Pro Bowl, I play around our offense then.
Exactly. Yeah. You got one more question for me?
Okay. Last question. Titans, real simple. Like I said, real simple, guys. Cam Ward.
And you heard what he said, right? Real simple. That means make it quick because he ready to go.
What my wife had already called me twice.
Y'all saw mine in the background, so you already know.
Mine already called me twice.
Mine watching the WNBA right now. The Aces are on, so she ain't worried about
time.
me.
You got time.
I ain't gonna take up time though. What was the question again?
No, you're good. I just this one's not really a question. I just want to know. I guess it's still a question. Cam Ward, what do you guys think? Cam Ward is going to do for the Titans? Because and the reason I asked this question is because I didn't think that the Titans. Okay, well, the Titans were bad, but their defensive line, I think, is awesome. I think they have an awesome.
Are bad. Till you show me something different, they still are.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Because I'm the most long-winded one. I'm gonna say this: Cam Ward. I've watched this young man play in person when he was with Incarnate Word, and they played against Prairie View. And I said that young man is special. I think that when he was in high school, he didn't even throw passes in high school, right? They ran like a triple option.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the wishbone, I think.
Yeah. So, but to watch him go from where he then to now, I like Cam Ward, so I'm rooting for him. I think that he's just going to need some time under his belt. But in the words of the great Negro poet Bubba Dub, Titans trash. Trash.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're right though. They are trash.
I didn't think we'd get a Bubba Dub quote on here today. I did not. With taking on Cam Ward like this, I'm like you. When I hear him talk, hear his story, the fact that he wants to play football, wants to keep it about football, don't want to do all the extra. He's not trying to be a celebrity, not trying to be. I want to see him succeed, but I think they got the wrong coach there for him to succeed right now. I think they got the wrong guy.
Who's their was it Cohen?
Callahan.
No, it's Callahan.
It's Callahan.
This is Callahan's second year, right? Callahan's second year.
The report came out today that Callahan almost got fired last
year.
Yeah, he should have.
He almost didn't make it.
He should have been fired last year.
I think Callahan is the same thing that would have happened if old Bobby there would have got a head coaching job last year. Yeah, if Bobby would have got a head coaching job last year, he'd probably be unemployed this year.
Yeah. Valid.
Too soon.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in the Titans surrounding Cam Ward with a lot of talent. To me, it's kind of Cam Ward, Tony Pollard, and Calvin Ridley against the world. Don't sleep on tight end Gunnar Helm. They picked him up in like the 5th round or whatever. I think he's going to be getting a lot of targets. I'm telling you right now, Gunnar Helm is going to be a problem.
If he ain't got no choice but to be a problem. Ain't nobody else a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I think Cam Ward eventually, when they get some more weapons around and he's got a couple years under the belt, I think he's going to be a problem eventually. I just don't think that problem starts this year.
Nope. Well, there's going to be a problem, but it won't be the one you think.
And let me add this in real quickly. If Cam Ward doesn't play with the sense of urgency, though, he's not going to be in the league long. He just plays like he like nonchalantly. Yeah,
too relaxed.
Yeah, those videos of him in college, just flat-footed, kind of standing there like a statue in the pocket. He ain't going to be able to do that in the NFL
at all.
No.
I hope he does it against the Texans.
You ain't got time to think in the NFL. You better know what you go do before you.
I'm trying to get 2 guys with 15 sacks this year.
Man,
that'd be nice.
That's why I want him to stand back there flat-footed.
Hey, didn't they lead the leading duo last year?
No.
Or they end up not being the leading?
I see Will getting that many. I don't see Daniil. Daniil probably like maybe 11, but he's going to lead the league in pressures.
Okay. Last year, I think it was Minnesota. Grenard and what's that? Van Kinkel or Van?
Oh,
Andrew Van Geek or whatever his name is. Yeah. It was barely though. I thought they ended up because they were like fighting like all season.
Will didn't play enough games. Like you said, if he'd have played more games, we'd have been talking about him all pro. We'd also be
what Will had. What Will have 10.5 or 11.5? How many he had?
Will had I think he had 11.5 and Daniil had 12, right?
Yeah. That's what I say. I want to see vice versa. I want to see 15 each.
15 is a lot, bro. That is a lot.
No, I'm greedy. I am greedy. I'm telling you, I'm greedy. I'm letting you know that. We get to play Trevor Lawrence twice a year.
Will had 11 sacks last year in 14 games.
I mean,
that's crazy though. That is crazy.
But look, I was going to say, let's go ahead and wrap this up so the pod doesn't actually end in divorce court. So
right, and I got a pack.
yeah. We all got
6:35 a.m.
God.
Ooh. Hey, tell him in Detroit I said hi.
I'm going to see my guy Cody M. Davis. I don't know if y'all know him, and I used to be on Locked On Texans.
I know Cody.
The Texans and the Rockets. Now he's covering the Detroit Pistons, but he also covers the Lions from time to time. Hey, before we get off here, so hey, Mike, I send you my Cash App so I can go to the Nike outlet and buy me some shoes.
Hey, let's see. What do y'all know? I came across this man. Don't tell me. Oh, shit, my wife probably gonna find out. I spent $1,000 on shoes in a damn day.
Hey,
he saw all them damn. He saw
in
them
there
bags.
you can. In there you can.
Yeah,
and I'm glad, and that's what I say before we get off here, man. I just want to say before we close out. First of all, thank you all for having me, man. I really appreciate it. I always say that time is the most valuable possession that an individual has because it's the one thing that you can never, ever get back. And so for you all to spend your time with me, for this 2 hours and 6 minutes that we've been together, that was only supposed to be 45 minutes. Mike, now I'm definitely sending you my Cash App. But
thank you.
I just want to say, man, thank you all for the opportunity to be able to come on here, talk football with y'all, man. I had a really, really good time, man. I really appreciate it. And, if God says the same and everything lines up and works out, maybe I can come back sometime during the season.
Hey, we'd love to have you.
Please do.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you on. We were excited about it. Mike was basically like a 15-year-old girl in the chat. Was like, "Oh my God!"
No, it was not.
What I tell you, Sarge, when I came across you, I kept it real cool, cool. But the thing is, I've been watching you for a minute, man, and I was like, wait a minute, that is different. Nah.
Hey, look, hold on. Now I know I said no. I said I wasn't gonna say pause or hey yo, but you've been watching me for a minute. I'm messing with you, Mike. I'm messing with you. Hey.
I know. But the thing is, I wanted to have you on. Like when I first started doing this with Curtis, you're one of the names that I brought up that I really want to get an opportunity to sit down and talk football with. So I thank you. I thank you for doing this, man.
And like I said, I appreciate it, man. Like when we met in the store, and he's like, "Hey, man, I've been trying to get in contact with you," and I was like, "All right." And where you found me at? Where you found me at is like that's my getaway. Like I get away from everything. My wife knows too. Sometimes I'll be in that store 2 hours, ain't bought a thing, but talk to everybody. Look, wait on them to bring out another cart. But like I said, man, I didn't know, Curtis. I didn't know that you. Said I didn't know, and like I said, I had to be on guard for the bots that are out there that constantly come at me. So I apologize, but man, I'm glad. Like I'm excited to be able to come on here because I'm gonna be. Let me say this to you all before I go. I love talking football with people who know football. You know what I mean by that?
Yep.
I love talking football with people who know football and not just trying to get a hot take out there. Who like, yo, we do this for real. And so I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, such a pleasure to have you on. Like we'll try to get something lined up in the future. I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing everything. Folks watching, we got 200 people watching right now. Go on over to Texans Tailgate and Talk or Texans Tailgate Talk.
All one word.
Yeah, all one word. Sorry. Like, subscribe, notification bell over there. Do the same thing for our main man, Mike at Mass 3 Productions all across social medias. Do the same thing for Chris and his podcast. That's Crazy Podcast and Talk. And then do the same thing here.
But for the record, my wife is an attorney, so she can recommend some very good divorce lawyers if you all need them. Just reach out to me.
Hey,
hopefully not.
I'm too old to start over. I ain't doing this again. I can't get a Carucci. I'm not finna go get me a Carucci. Yeah, all right.
Let me see you on IG thirst trapping. But all right.
Folks, thanks for watching. Be good people. Go Texans.
Go Texans.
Goodness.